Hello everyone. This is Mr. Mathis again. So I wanted to just kind of go through assignment 2.1. I saw a lot of students struggle with it. Um, just wasn't really getting the right answers. Wasn't getting the spreadsheet correct. So I wanted to kind of go through it with you kind of quickly, but not too fast, but kind of quickly. So I have a split screen up. So if you first thing I wanted to put your attention to is this number right here. You see where it says name box. Wherever box you click on, it changes. Okay, so this is A1, right? So the columns are letters, the rows are numbers. Um, so that brings us to activity one. So on row 7, column A, type 106. Okay, so column A, row 7, type 106. Okay, and column B, same row, type your name. Oh, I couldn't see that too well the way my screen was set up. Okay, so type your name. Column C, what type of department you want to work in. I'm going to put CS for computer science. Okay. Row 7, give yourself a salary. I'm going to give myself $500,000 because that's what I would like to get paid. And I will type in 0. That'll be my starting salary. Okay. Now change the value of C3 to sales. So C3, we press it, we see C3 here, sales. Okay. Now change the value of D4 to $80,000. Okay. Now let's move on to in range D2 to E3. D2 to E3. Okay, change the values 90 from 90,000. So this should be 90,000. We're looking at this right here. 90,000, 5, 100,000, 5. So just to be clear, this is what we're looking at. Okay, so D2 to E3 in the range of E4 to E6, increase the value by 1. So where we are E4, and if we can just click on this, E4, E5, E6. Okay, so we increase the value by 1. So equals plus 1. Okay, I know we could have just kind of just erased it, but you'll be dealing with more complicated values and you kind of want to use these formulas. All right, so let's increase it by 1, equal sign, plus 1. All right, good. So that's where we should be. Now multiply the value in E2 by 1.5. All right, so E2, all right, we're going to take this value and multiply it by 1.5. Okay, now we're going to take E3 and we're going to divide it by, what are they telling us about? Divided by 2. Okay, now we're going to add 1 to E4. I guess we're adding 1 again to E4. So we'll add 1 again. And now we're subtracting 1 from E5. Alright, so now this is where many people kind of messed up. So use the less than to fill in F2, right? F2 to F6. As you see right here, it's highlighted F2 to F6. Check whether the employee has been, move this over a bit, has been at the company for at least 2 years. So I'm going to put less than 2 years. Okay. Move that over a bit. Probably can move this over just for purposes. I'm just going to bold it just to make everything look the same. Okay, I think that's bolded. Okay, good. All right, so now we want to make sure they've been working there for at least 2 years. Okay, at least 2 years. So I should apologize. I should have wrote at least. I just put we'll put at least 2 years. Okay. So we're gonna put equals. So that means we want it to be 2 years or more. Okay. So we're going to put E. All right. Okay. So if we auto suggest, then this is what we should get. Okay. So if we look at the numbers, this person's been working there at least 2 years, at least 2 years, at least 2 years, at least 2 years, not 2 years. All right. Okay. So now we did 4. Let's move on to 5. And B2, change the formula to equals Keenan Jackson. All right. So we change this B2 to equals Keenan Jackson. Okay. So what happens? Nothing. Okay. But same output, but that's important. All right. Then we add 1 to B2 using the operator. Okay. All right. So after doing this, you should see this number sign value. If you over the cell and pop up an error message, this little red little triangle in the corner, that's an error message. All right. Now change all the salaries in column D to the currency. All right, so if we click on here, this should look like that. All right, I'll move it back over, give it some space. All right, and in E1, say start date. So instead of years employed, let's actually, they want us to put start date. Let's do that. All right, and now we are just type in the following dates. So let's actually just manually type in these dates. Instead of the years, we want, I guess we want to put some dates in if that happens. 2018 to 2010. Okay, so I just paused the video. I just typed that in there real quick to save time. So we can go, now we want to change this column to a date format. So let's go format, number, date. Okay. Okay, we didn't format this one. Okay, so format, number, let me make sure I got to format all. Format, number, date. Okay. Okay, so this should not have been formatted because I'm still haven't started yet. So that is it for activity 1. Now let's move on to the second. Okay, next. Now you are going to be answering these questions 1 through 7. Okay. I wanted it on this document. If you answered this on Codehs, I believe that's fine. No, I stand corrected, not on Codehs. You're answering the questions on here, okay, based on what we just did. And now let's move to part 2, activity 2, okay, and Now let's do, okay, now we're practicing importing a data set. This is important. This should say data.gov. Okay, so this next part is important because we're going to be doing a project, most likely, where you're going to be finding your own data and you have to import it yourself into your spreadsheet. So this is good practice. And so this is a government website where they actually have publicly available data. So your job here is to go to this website, find a data set, any data set just for practice, and upload it to this document. So if you click here, this will pop up. Okay, this is a government website. As you can see, there's over 300,000 data sets available. So we could just click on most viewed data sets. We could have clicked on any of these. I'm just going to pick the first one just because it's there. Click CSV because that's the most easiest. It downloads to your computer. Then once it downloads, you'll find a spot where you want to import it. So let's go to File, Import. Okay, Upload, find Upload, Browse. Okay, this is the data we just downloaded. Now I'm on a Mac, so it might be a little different for you, but it's the same concept. Okay, create new spreadsheet, no. We want to append to current sheet, detect automatically. So it's just basically how we're going to detect the columns. So import data. Okay, so here it is. Let's just I just want to just create just a little bit of space. So let's just insert one row above. Okay, so all I did was just insert one row above just to create some space. And this is just a data set, just practicing uploading data. That's all we were just doing, because at some point you're going to have to upload your own data. All right, so then once you go back to, you are going to complete a reflection on Codehs. So if you click on this link, importing data reflection, you are actually answering these questions here. All right, so please, any questions, please ask.